Well, good morning, everybody. Nice to be back home. Okay, let's begin by taking refuge in generate the enlightened mind attitude. Until I have reached full awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By means of beneficial actions such as generosity, may I attain enlightenment in order to benefit beings. Until I have reached full awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By means of beneficial actions such as generosity, may I attain enlightenment in order to benefit beings. Until I have reached full awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By means of beneficial actions such as generosity, may I attain enlightenment in order to benefit beings. May all beings find happiness in the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering in the cause of suffering. May they not be separated from the perfect happiness that is free from suffering. May they abide in great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. May all beings find happiness in the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering in the cause of suffering. May they not be separated from the perfect happiness that is free from suffering. May they abide in great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. May all beings find happiness in the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering in the cause of suffering. May they not be separated from the perfect happiness that is free from suffering. May they abide in great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. Let us begin by taking a moment to make sure we're here, that our body, speech, and mind are present to the situation. Whatever we're busy doing before we come here, just let it fade away into the past. What we might have to do in the future when we quit this place, let it on hold for a while. Appreciate the freedom you have, the time, the leisure. Appreciate how fortunate we are having this date with our mind. The great teacher Mapa once said, as far as meditation is concerned, if we want to compare the importance of philosophy and words you may have learned and the
Posture is more important. When you meditate, all the words and concepts are not really necessary, but the right posture is vital. So we pay attention to the posture, and the first thing is we notice how we are connected to the ground and the stability we gain through this contact. Whether we sit directly on the floor or on a chair, we can sense this support we receive from Mother Earth. Our hands are resting flat, palms down on our thighs, or in the meditation gesture, it's the right hand in the left, both resting in the lap. Our back is straight, like the trunk of a large tree, without unnecessary tensions, just a sense of balance. Our shoulders are slightly outstretched so that the back is not caving. The chin is slightly tucked in to make sure the head is in line with the spine, but there is no tension in the neck. And as we breathe in and out, we may notice a tension around the abdomen region. And as we breathe in and out, we just drop it and relax it until we find the center of gravity of our body, which is slightly below the navel. Now we really sense the timber frame of our body being in the right position. We can trust the spine and then relax all the rest. And so it's easy to sit. The mouth is relaxed and the tongue is lightly touching the palate. The gaze is directed straight ahead, slightly downward, in a soft and open vision of what is in front of us. Eyes half closed, or if we find it more comfortable, the eyes can be closed. Breath comes and goes, mostly through the nostrils. In a very natural manner, we notice the movement of the breath as it is. Deep or slow or quick or shallow, we notice it simply. The breath will be a very useful friend when we notice that we are drifting away, following a train of thoughts. As soon as we notice that we have been distracted and following a train of thoughts, we simply disengage in a non-violent way, simply disengage and come back to the breath for a while and follow the movement of the breath. You can follow the entire course of your breath, or just pay attention to the moment when the breath comes in your body through the nostril and goes out of your body through the nostrils. And therefore, keep your attention on this little surface between the tip of your nose and your upper lip. Noticing all the sensations, the tactile sensations. Noticing the coolness of the breath when you breathe in, and the warmth of the breath when you breathe out. And as you do that, the engagement with a thought will be pacified. Thoughts will come and go, and so we'll sense perceptions. They are not our enemies. They don't have to be suppressed violently. We don't have to entertain them endlessly either. But we certainly don't have to suppress them violently. We just notice them and we don't follow them. So their lifespan is very short. They arise, they are noticed, they disappear. And as you do that, you begin to experience a sense of relief from the constant need of evaluating or responding, commenting, taking actions. You just give your mind a break. You let it be. And you remain aware and spacious.
Feel free to move, stretch a bit if you need. In the book Path to Awakening that was written by Shamar Rinpoche, where he commented the classic Mahayana text of the 7 point of mind training, which is a compilation of 59 slogans grouped in 7 chapters. In the last one, the last chapter, 7th chapter, there's one slogan, which I believe is the 47th, that says, as matter of an advice, make the 3 inseparable. Make the 3 inseparable. So what are the 3 that we are talking of in this case? Well, very simply, our body, our speech, our mind. And the advice is to make sure that our body, speech, and mind pull the cart together in the same direction. That there is no sort of disharmony, which would be unfortunate, because that would sort of like nullify the effort. Like the actions of the body could nullify the effort of the effort of the mind could be nullifying the effort of communication or the speech, and so on and so forth. So this advice is really about harmony. We have to harmonize our body, speech, and mind activity. They can be 3 tremendous friends working in synergy, or they can be opposing each other in a sort of a war of contradictions. Your mind thinks something, but your body does something else. Or your words try to be harmonious, but your body language is aggressive. And your intentions are not really generous. And we can notice this. So this slogan is sort of a wake-up call. Are these 3 friends working in harmony? Basically, that's the idea. And of course, in terms of practice, what we call practice, use the body properly. That means mostly sit in the right posture, do prostrations, circumambulate stupa, makes the offering of the mandala, offering of the universe, and so on and so forth. So use your body, put your body to contribution in your practice, in your effort of practice towards enlightenment. So that would be the physical use of the of this part of the triad of your body, speech, and mind. Using the speech is, in terms of practice, all the sutras that we recite, the mantras, in general, all the aspiration prayers like Samantabhadra, the King of Prayer, all these sorts of things, reciting texts and mantra in order to purify the habits of sort of a self-centered habit of negativity with relation to the speech, the use of the speech. And for the mind, the proper use of the mind will be mostly cultivating the enlightened mind attitude. Make sure that your aspiration to be of help to everybody and progress on the way to enlightenment, to help everybody else to do the same, is strong, that your attention in the application bodhicitta, when you're trying to implement this application bodhicitta through the practice of the 6 qualities, paramitas, such as generosity and ethic, patience, diligence, meditation, and wisdom, is probably working. So that's kind of like work at the level of mind. So that's in terms of practice.
And of course, we have to work with that. There's no doubt. But in a larger sense, it's really, I think I'd like to emphasize this aspect of harmony. Are you creating a synergy where your action of your body, your communication, and your intentions are on the same page? And thereby they help each other. You know, at times where you can't do much, then your mind will make good wishes and aspirations so that you sort of project yourself in a nearby future where you'll be able to do more, so that you don't feel limited or blocked. You sort of try to imagine what could be an ideal or better situation. And as you sort of set a goal, you set a course, and then it becomes obvious what is the next step in order to achieve this next thing, which is really reachable. What I can do will be this, and then comes that, and so on and so forth. And then if all works well, and if I pay attention to every details, then not so far, not so, you know, not such a far or remote future, things will be much more conducive to what I intended to do now, today, but I couldn't because of the actual limitations. You know, like if I was a rich man, you know, I would help everybody, right? But you're not. So if you want to be a rich person, in order to help, you have to find the smart ways to make money. And so you have to think about it. You have to put your intelligence, you have to put your resources, you have to put your body, you have to use your communication skills, and so on and so forth. So that's one example. If you want to be a Buddha, there's also steps for that needs to be made. And it's so much easier when body, speech, and mind are working together. So, you know, keep an eye on your mind, keep an eye on your words, keep an eye on your actions, and so try to bring them into the path, sort of like consolidate physical, verbal, and mental activity into one stream. So that's really the advice. What will be the drawback of not having this? As I said earlier, it will create disturbances, turbulences. Your body said yes, but your mind says no. Your speech said, I will do, and your mind says, no way. You know, so you have to learn to harmonize this. You know, do not overextend your capacity and make commitments that you know you cannot keep. But make wishes that at some point you could keep these kind of commitments and work progressively your way towards this stage of a higher capacity. So it's basically possible if there is a form of constant mindfulness. And so here we find again the three qualities of mindfulness, vigilance, and care, or conscientiousness. Jampa, Shishin, and Bakyu in Tibetan, that are described at length in the Bodhisattva Charya Avatara that some of you have studied already. With the mindfulness, you keep in mind literally what you intend to do. So there's a sense of memory in mindfulness. You remember what you are here to, you know, what you're supposed to do. You have the plan is clear in your mind, what you want to do. With vigilance or attentiveness, you're very, very attentive, not to sort of like slip away or drift away from your intention. So mindfulness is like the general picture. Attentiveness is much more detail oriented. Okay. And the third aspect, conscientiousness, is making sure that everything is properly brought to fruition. Conscientiousness is about fulfillment. It's about making sure you don't stop halfway. You just keep doing the things properly until the fulfillment. So these are the three qualities that we absolutely need to cultivate. So mindfulness, attentiveness, and conscientiousness can be sort of like used to work on this specific aspect that is here in this slogan, the harmony between the three, body, speech, and mind. So that they work like one, they pull the cart together in the same direction. And so there's no loss, the perdition's loss of energy, of efficiency, and it works really fine. And so the same qualities, of course, will be used in meditation. You need to have mindfulness, you need attentiveness, you need conscientiousness in your exercise, your training of meditation. But here, more specifically, the point here, the 47th slogan, is really pointing out the necessity to harmonize the energy of body, speech, and mind. So that's the advice of today. So this being said, let's go back to our meditation.
To conclude, let's share the merit. Through this practice, through this merit, may I attain true omniscience. Then, having overcome all harmful, destructive forces, may I liberate sentient beings from the ocean of existence and its turbulent waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death. May the most precious mind of awakening that has not yet dawned now arise. Once arisen, may it never decline, may it continue to increase evermore. Thank you all very much. So, have you anything to declare?
On that note.